Hey, it is Troy Stavros, and it is time for our monthly market update. All the data is in through the end of November. So let's take a look and see what is happening in the East Tennessee and Knoxville real estate market. All right, let's jump in. So starting with East Tennessee as a whole, this is all of the surrounding counties, everything that falls under the East Tennessee real estate market. So when we take a look from November of 2022 compared to November of 2023, home sales are down 7.8%. Pending sales are up 3.4%. The inventory of homes is up 3.2%. So this is one of the first times we've seen inventory be up over last year. So that is good. We're seeing more inventory come on the market. New listings are up 11.6%. So seeing more new listings come on the market, that is good news for home buyers. And the median sales price is up 10.81% compared to a year ago and coming in at $346,000 as the median sales price for all of East Tennessee combined. The absorption rate, which is the amount of available inventory on the market, increased month over month. We now have 2.91 months worth of inventory compared to 2.77 months worth last month. So we're seeing a little bit more inventory come on the market month over month as well. Let's take a look and see what some of the graphs look like. We can see that the number of listings has been increasing, and this is typical for this time of year. You see more inventory come on the market because there are typically less home sales as you get into the holidays. But we've seen a pretty steady incline of the amount of inventory over the last few months. And then as far as home sales, it's been pretty flat and is just starting to come down, trend down now, which again is not uncommon for this time of year. When we look at the listing prices, they've held pretty steady. From here, you have June, July, August, just held pretty flat line. It actually ticked up a little bit over the last month from October to November. And the same can be said for the new median list price, pending list price, and the sold sale price. All have stayed pretty flat in East Tennessee here. So the market is just humming along fairly steadily. When we look at the absorption rate, that typically matches your number of listings. It has been trending up, so getting more months worth of inventory on the market as we head into the winter months. When we look over here at the sold to list price ratio, we can see that it has been trending down since May and June. That is typically where you're going to have the most competition, are in those months. So as we get into the winter months, you have a little bit more room for negotiations typically happening right now. And you can see now we're at the lowest sold to list price ratio, meaning there is more negotiation happening on homes in East Tennessee right now than there has been since probably at the beginning of the year. So that is more good news for buyers. Days on the market is trending up slightly, but still looking around a month's worth of time, depending on the type of home that you're talking about. All right, let's jump over and look at Knoxville as a whole. Okay, so when we're looking at Knoxville, comparing November of 2022 to this past November of 2023, home sales are down 9.4%. Again, when we talk about Knoxville, we're talking about everything that has a Knoxville, Tennessee address. So home sales are down 9.4%. Pending sales are up 2.5%. The inventory of homes is up 8% compared to a year ago. Again, good news for home buyers. New listings are up 11.5%. The median sales price is coming in 10.45% higher than it was a year ago. So home prices and home values are increasing year over year. And that median sales price came in at $370,000. The average sold price per square foot of a home in Knoxville came in at $208 a square foot, and the absorption rate still really low amounts of inventory, under 2 months of inventory, but it did increase month over month and came in at 1.86 months worth of inventory. Let's jump over and take a look at the graphs. Okay, so we're looking at Knoxville. You can see we've seen a pretty sharp increase in inventory since June, as it has just continued increasing, and then saw a pretty big jump over the last month from 870 listings up to 978. And in that same time, we've seen the sold and pending listings trending down. Again, not uncommon for this time of year, but definitely things that we'll want to keep an eye on. Again, similar to East Tennessee as a whole, the listing prices, new median list price, pending list price, and sold sales price have all stayed pretty flat. So again, steady as it goes here in East Tennessee and Knoxville right now. Absorption rate, again, matching what has happened up here with listings. We've seen more and more homes come on the market and or homes stay on the market longer, which is what increases this absorption rate number. The sold to list price ratio is coming in at 97.6%. That is for original list to sale price, and 99.1. So once a home, this number is showing what it would have been if a home had not been reduced. So we are seeing some price reductions happening for sure, and I'm going to show you some more about that in a minute. But once they're reduced, they're selling for pretty close to what the list price is, but there are price reductions happening, and I'm going to show you that here in one moment. Days on the market is only 21 days on the market on average, pretty short amount of time, so homes are selling fairly quickly, especially if they are priced right. When we look here at Knoxville, we want to take a look and see, okay, in the Knoxville, Tennessee area, what are the sales prices or the price ranges of homes that are selling the most? The number one is right here. The 350 to 400 price point had the most amount of sales in November. Or actually, I'm sorry, 300 to 350 had 67 sales. 350 to 400 had 67. So this window right here, this 250 to 450, definitely the most amount of sales happening there. When we look for pending sales, the most amount of pending sales definitely happened right here, the $250,000 to $300,000 price range. When we look at active listings, so what price range has the most available inventory right now, it comes in at a tie in Knoxville between $350,000 and $450,000. That's where your most available inventory is right now in those price ranges, followed not too far behind by $250,000 to $300,000 has 91, $300,000 to $350,000 has 90, and then $450,000 to $500,000 has 95. And then as far as new listings coming on the market, the most new listings were in the $250,000 to $300,000 price range, followed by $350,000 to $400,000. Let's take a closer look at what is happening in the Knoxville real estate market with active listings. When we take a look at this chart here, we can see per our market action index, which tells us whether it is a buyer's market or a seller's market, that we are still in a strong seller's market simply because the lack of inventory, but it's less of a seller's market than it was last month. When you look at this dial, at the number 30 mark is where the breakdown is between buyer's market and seller's market. So if we get below 30, we're into a buyer's market, but above 30, we are still in a seller's market. And currently, we're right at about a 45, so that is telling us still in a seller's market. As far as what is happening with the median list price, we've seen it come down over this is a 3-month period. All of these are over a 3-month period. It has come down over the last 3 months, but that's not uncommon for this time of year. Price of new listings has held pretty flat. I mean, it started at about 407 3 months ago, has trended up and down, and is at 375. But again, seeing what happens here as it comes down over the last month or so, not uncommon for this type of year. It is very seasonal, and I will show you that here in a minute as well. Price per square foot has held pretty steady, coming in at an average of $214 a square foot here for everything that is currently active on the market. Median days on the market has increased a bit over the last 3 months. Price increases have held pretty steady, but they're still at about 52%, which is high as far as historically, but we're still dealing with coming off of 8% interest rates, which definitely had an effect on the market. But now that rates have come down, I think we'll start to see that this number come down a little bit as well. We're seeing a few more homes being relisted. Still a very low number at 6%, but it's a little higher than it was 3 months ago. That's because we may have seen some homes expire because they may have been priced too high and then they were brought back on the market. Inventory definitely has risen over the last 3 months, which we saw earlier. Median rent has held pretty steady in Knoxville, but you can also see the market action index has definitely trended down from August until now. In August, it was at 58 and is now at 45. So it is definitely less of a seller's market now than it was 3 months ago, but still a seller's market. When we look at the median price, this is what I wanted to show you as far as seasonality goes. So you saw prices start coming down here in May, June, but you can see that same thing happen every year. It's just a seasonal trend. You hit the peak kind of around May, June, and then it starts coming down as you get into the winter months. May, June, and then it starts coming down right here, May, June, and then it starts coming down. Even back here in 2019, you were in May, June, July, and then it started coming down. So that is typical for this time of year. When we take a look at what is happening in the market segments, it looks like the bottom of the market, which has an average sales price of $278,800, that bottom 25 percentile is definitely selling the fastest at 28 days. So that is your most competitive price point. We saw 34 new listings come on the market last week and 22 were absorbed. The next price segment, which averages about $400,000 or $399,900, that one's averaging about 42, as well as a segment above it. It saw 22 new listings come on the market last week, and then 22 were absorbed. So that one's staying pretty level. And then the luxury market, which has an average price of $899,900, is the one that is definitely taking the longest for homes to sell, with an average days on the market being 63. When we look here also, the other thing to keep an eye on are the price decreases. You can see right now in Knoxville, we're above 50%, which is higher than we typically are. I mean, even back in 2019, we got up to about 43% on the 90-day average. This was 44%. Last year, we got as high as 47%, but right now we are at 50%. Again, though, I believe this is because we are coming off of that period of having 8% interest rates where it really tightened the market as far as affordability. So I think if we can get rates to ease, which they have, they've come from 8% down to about 7% as of today. Hopefully we're going to see this ease as well. And we'll see this number play out in the closed sales prices in the next month or so, because these price reductions have happened. Okay, let us jump over and take a look and see what's happening countywide with the surrounding counties here in East Tennessee. In Roane County, available inventory is up 3.5% compared to a year ago. Pending sales are down 20.6%. The median sales price is up 28.81% compared to last November and coming in at $336,450 in Roane County, with the median sold price per square foot in Roane County coming in at $181 per square foot. In Knox County, available inventory is up 6.6%. Pending sales are up 3.3%. The median sales price is up 8.21% and coming in at $362,500, with the median sold price per square foot coming in at $207 per square foot. In Anderson County, available inventory is up 26.1%. Pending sales are down 16.7%, and the median sales price is up 21.04% and coming in at $304,950 with the median sold price per square foot in Anderson County coming in at $183 per square foot. In Loudoun County, available inventory is down 4% compared to a year ago. Pending sales are down 9.2%. The median sales price is up 29.13% and coming in at $492,000, with the median sold price per square foot in Loudoun County coming in at $237 per square foot. In Sevier County, available inventory is up 16.76%. Pending sales are down 27.74%, and the median sales price is up 13.66% compared to a year ago and coming in at $575,000, with the median sold price per square foot in Sevier County coming in at $367 per square foot. And always remember, these Sevier County numbers are definitely skewed because there's quite a bit of investment property in Sevier County, in Gatlinburg, Pigeon Forge, Sevierville. So always remember that when you're looking at those numbers. In Blount County, available inventory is up 9.6%. Pending sales are up 11.8%, and the median sales price is down 2.78% and coming in at $350,000, with the median sold price per square foot coming in at $223 per square foot. So that's what's happening with the immediate data. Let's take a look and talk about what is happening in the housing market in general. So let's take a look at some trends and why East Tennessee has a thriving market. East Tennessee's real estate market, particularly in Knoxville, has demonstrated remarkable resilience and growth in recent times. In the third quarter of 2023, Knoxville's home price growth ranked an impressive number 4 among the top 100 metro areas. So number 4 out of the top 100 metros, Knoxville's home price growth ranked number 4. This surge reflects a significant 11.6% increase from the previous year, as reported by the Federal Housing Finance Agency, or FHFA. Such robust growth showcases Knoxville's burgeoning appeal in the East Tennessee real estate landscape. Okay, so how about housing market projections for 2024 for Knoxville? Well, a recent survey from Fannie Mae shows that 23% of consumers think prices will fall over the next 12 months. That's nearly 1 in 4 people who are dealing with that fear, and maybe you're one of them. So to help ease that concern, let me show you what the experts say will happen with home prices, not just next year, but over the next 5 years. Here's what the experts are saying will happen over the next few years. This is from a large group of economists. The Home Price Expectation Survey is from Pulse Economics, and it's a great resource that shows what experts forecast for home prices over a 5-year period. It includes projections from over 100 economists, investment strategists, and housing market analysts, and the results from the latest quarterly release show that home prices are expected to go up every year through 2027. Let's take a look at this graph below. In 2023, it's showing, and this is on a national level, 3.32%. 2024, they're expecting 2.17%. 2025, 3.24%. 2026, 3.79%. And 2027, 4.18%. And this is all of the economists together and the average. So they're saying nationally, we are going to see the prices of homes increase every year going forward through 2027. So for those that are worried that home prices are going to go down, here experts, many, are showing you that they believe prices will increase. And while the projected increase in 2024 isn't as large as 2023, you have to remember that price appreciation is cumulative. In other words, if these experts are correct, after your home's value rises by 3.32% this year, it'll go up by another 2.17% next year. If you're worried home prices are going to fall, here's the big takeaway. Even though prices vary by local area, experts project they'll continue to rise across the country for years to come at a pace that's more normal for the market, not like what we've seen the last couple of years. So what does this mean for you? If you're not convinced yet, maybe these numbers will get your attention. They show how a typical home's value could change over the next few years using the expert projections from the chart above. Okay, this is the potential growth in household wealth over the next 5 years based on these numbers here, based on those projections. And this is if you had a $400,000 home in January of 2023. This is what would happen over the next 5 years. You say you bought it in January for $400,000. The next year, with that price appreciation, it would be worth $413,280. In 2025, $422,248. In 2026, $435,929. In 2027, $452,451. And in 2028, $471,363. So that is saying that if you factor in this forecast, you could potentially accumulate more than $71,000 in household wealth over the next 5 years if you purchased a $400,000 home in January of 2023. But locally, 2024 holds a blend of challenges and opportunities for Knoxville real estate. In Realtor.com's 2024 forecast, they predicted Knoxville would have a 5.9% dip in home sales, but it also anticipates a promising 7.12% rise in home prices. These projections paint a picture of a market that is adjusting and evolving to economic conditions. Okay, let's talk about apartment rent growth and the student housing market. The rental market in Knoxville is also witnessing notable trends. October saw a continuation of accelerated apartment rent growth with a 4.14% year-over-year increase across the Knoxville metropolitan statistical area, significantly outpacing the national average. Additionally, the University of Tennessee's student housing market ranked number 11 nationally for rent growth in fall of 2023, marking a substantial 15.9% increase from the previous school year. Not good news for folks that have kids renting over there and going to school, but if you're an investor in the student housing market in Tennessee and by the University of Tennessee, you saw a 15.9% increase in rents over the last year. In the fast-paced housing market in Knoxville, homes are selling fairly swiftly. In October, half of the homes sold were under contract in 12 days or less, indicating a slight fluctuation from previous periods. Remarkably, 26% of homes sold for more than the asking price, underscoring Knoxville's competitive real estate environment. Let's talk about the housing market dynamics and inventory trends. Despite challenges like limited inventory and affordability, the East Tennessee housing market is adapting. November witnessed a seasonal rise in housing inventory, like we talked about earlier, with an 8% increase year over year in active listings across the region. This trend indicates a gradually improving market landscape as we move into 2024. Let's talk real quick about Knoxville's labor market. The economic backdrop of Knoxville's real estate market remains strong despite broad uncertainties. Knoxville's labor market, as per the Bureau of Labor Statistics, continues to outperform, ranking among the top U.S. metros for job growth. RealPage Analytics reports a 3.7% increase in Knoxville's employment base in the year ending October 2023, well above Metro's long-term average. You can see here, this is the metro area leaders for job growth, and Knoxville right there coming in at a tie for number 8 with a 3.7% increase in the employment base in the year ending October of 2023. Okay, mortgage rates and the economic outlook. The mortgage landscape has seen dramatic shifts. We saw rates over 8% earlier in the year, and as of today, according to the Mortgage News Daily, the 30-year fixed mortgage rate is at 7.02%. This rate, while higher than last year's average, reflects recent market adjustments. The Federal Reserve's decision not to pursue another rate hike further shapes a cautiously optimistic economic outlook for the national, Knoxville, and East Tennessee real estate markets. Many experts believe the Fed will cut rates in 2024, leading to mortgage interest rates dropping as well. If that does happen and you're a home buyer, there is a catch-22. Should interest rates fall, inventory will fall right along with it, and competition will rise. Now that may seem counterintuitive, but here's what the data shows. Okay, looking at this graphic, when we look at this data since 2016, you can clearly see that when we are in an environment of rates falling, that is the green shaded area. So when rates are falling, inventory falls as well. When you look at the red areas that show rates rising, you can see inventory rises as well. So this is the data showing us specifically what happens. Rates fall, inventory falls. Rates rise, inventory rises. So if that's the case, if there's lower rates will stimulate increased demand from buyers, leading to more competition and lower supply, like we're seeing here. And what does the law of supply and demand tell us about what low supply and high demand will do to home prices? That's right. It will make them rise. So if that's the case, is it better to wait until that happens to buy a home, or buy a home when competition is lower and there's more inventory available to choose from? We remember what it was like a few years ago when competition was fierce. I don't think anybody wants that again, but rates dropping could bring it back. In conclusion, the East Tennessee and Knoxville real estate markets are navigating through a dynamic phase marked by growth in home prices, a robust rental market, and a resilient economy. As we look towards 2024, these trends offer insightful indicators for potential home buyers, sellers, and investors in the region. Stay tuned for more updates as the market continues to evolve in this vibrant and diverse region. I look forward to helping you in any way that I can. If you have questions or comments, feel free to comment below or feel free to reach out to me directly. I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have. I hope you're having a great day. It is a beautiful day here in East Tennessee. So if you aren't here yet, what are you waiting for? Come on, we'd love to help you.